Okay. You've seen enough of those.
I was in my room staring at my computers.
You can't play them.
Rather do that.
Yeah.
I guess what was it about that desert? I know you joked about it on the radio,
Yeah.
but you also got some big stepping up offensively from some guys that you haven't had all the way.
Yeah, no, it was a really good trip. Obviously, it's much needed. Get some wins and get road wins. But I really thought our team handled it really well. I mean, it was the first time any of us really had done this in this format. To leave, play 2 games, stay out, practice, all the stuff that goes with it. Our operations guy, our strength and conditioning people, trainers did a phenomenal job of having our kids organized and ready. And I thought they showed a lot of maturity to handle the situation and play 2 very different games, but 2 very good games.
Talk about, I guess, the differences in those games. I know Arizona guarded Audi really well, and
Right.
just did you kind of know that was going to be the case going in?
Yeah, the Arizona State game, neither team really was going to win any defensive awards. We couldn't guard them, they couldn't guard us. We made some shots. The Arizona game, yeah, I mean, we planned for that. Arizona does a great job. They're big and physical, and the way they double team. So we did have a plan, and I thought, I told Audie after the game, I really thought it was overall one of her better games. And she only scored 11 points, but the way she worked made them defend her, which opened up shots for the other people, obviously Sid. So it was one of those games where that was the plan, and luckily we had a good feel for what the shots we could get. Now whether or not you can make them or not, I don't know, but that's what we talked about in practice, and that's what happened in the game.
And what'd you have to say to Sydney after that Arizona game?
No, I mean, I didn't say a whole lot to her. The players were really excited. They doused her in water, and I think what happened. Our team they're really, really good kids, and I know every coach says that, but this team is. They get along really well, and I think they really are learning and have learned that they really do celebrate the success of others. Obviously, the 3 get a lot of attention, and when the others get some, it's kind of cool. And it was near the end of the game, and we had taken out most of them. Sid was still in there, and the shot clock was running down. She was wide open, and the whole bench just screamed, "Why not?" And she made another one. And so it was cool. I mean, those are moments that are fun for everyone. Certainly it was fun. Sid's parents were there to see it. So, those are moments that impact the success of our team. And, AJ and Reagan kind of had that night against Arizona State. And, that's what you have, to have success in this league. And luckily we got it from different people in 2 games.
Bill, before you guys left, you had hinted that one change you might make is get Kelsey some more minutes. What did you like about what she provided, given her activity level?
No, I think the best way to put it is her activity level. Some of her activity doesn't really produce the kind of results at times that I like, but she's always going to play hard. She's learning that it's okay to pass, and you don't have to shoot to be effective. She's always going to try and go rebound. Defensively, I thought she was much better in both games, but it's just you have to eat up your minutes somehow, and if you're eating up minutes through effort, energy, activity, sometimes that's enough. Not always, but I thought she did it in both those games, and really, even though her stat line wasn't what the others was, sometimes that column that says minutes, that number dictates a lot, and her minutes were productive, and that's why she got a lot of playing time.
I know before with the 3-point shooting struggles, you were talking about players looking like they were another person compared to some of what they were doing before.
Right.
Have you seen that kind of invasion of the body snatcher situation reverse itself? And I think you anticipated it reversing itself too.
Yeah, I mean, we did. We felt like we did, and I think the two things that I kept saying to everyone, and especially to the team, is A, you've already done it, and B, I like the shots we're getting. Now, if you're telling me we're taking bad shots and we're not making them, and you don't have a history, now we got a problem. But we really tried to emphasize, and we will continue to emphasize, these are shots you make every day. These are shots you've made your whole life. These are shots you made, and that's why we recruited you. And as long as we're taking the shots within our offense that we feel give us the best chance, you live with the result. And in both those games, we didn't shoot a ton, but we were efficient. They were open. They were in rhythm, and they got to see the ball go in the basket.
Does the trip to Arizona have the possibility to be turn the corner or jumpstart the season type of trip? I mean, you've been around plenty of teams where moments like that have happened. Does it possibly compare to any situations you've had before?
I don't know. I mean, I see how people would view it that way. I think the difference is the league is so weird, and it's like if you knew you were playing everyone twice, and I'm probably not answering the question the right way, but it's like it just seems like everything is so disjointed, and I think I pissed the Big 12 people off because our schedule is crazy as far as 4 games and 10 days and Sundays and whatever. I do think, I don't think there's any question if we don't go to Arizona and play the way we played, the tenor of today would be a lot different. But I just feel like it's really hard to quantify the rhythm of the schedule because you only play 3 teams twice.
Yep.
And so now, I mean, I remember, Coach Stacy, I just said that on the radio. It's like he used to always say, it's when do you play them and where do you play them? And it's like, we played Oklahoma State in December and we don't see them again maybe ever. So I don't know, it's just a really weird dynamic, which everyone's going through. I mean, everyone's kind of like, who do you get and when do you, all that kind of stuff. So I hope it does. I think that there's a chance that it could, but that's not a very good answer. But it just, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing for me because you're trying. I think that's why we have bored you guys and I bored the team to tears of. It is a 1-0 next 40 minutes, and we pick out one other thing, and that's it. Like, let's just focus on that because it's too hard to quantify. And I guess I'm just not smart enough to figure out how to do it, I guess.
You've been bored up.
Yeah.
I can't speak for them.
Yeah.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
I turned it off.
It's all right.
They don't want to hear what I have to say anyway.
These two of us.
You've said it before, I know, but it isn't common, the nameless, faceless opponent thing. And I know some people might look at it and be like, oh, you don't regard your opponent well. I think it's probably a phrase rooted in respect, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I think it completely is rooted in respect.
So how would you describe what that means? Obviously, it's focusing on yourselves a little bit and not necessarily, not letting the moment get too big, but how would you describe?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, you don't let the moment get too big because I found over basketball, a couple of things. Number one, I've never bought into, and this is where I have a hard time, and the players have a hard time with me, is, I hear, they can't get up for 31 games. I think that is an absolute, I've never understood that mentality. Are you kidding me? 31, which happens. So then it's like, every game counts as one win or one loss. So if you get too crazy in one moment, then because what you don't want to happen is if you're not going to win your next one because you won your last one. You don't want to lose your next one because you lost your last one. So you give too much credit. It's a level of respect, but it's kind of like, this game isn't. It's like I think I've been asked this before. It's like, is this it's just a must-win game. There's only one must-win game. The game you got to win to keep your season going.
Yeah.
The way I view it. Now, obviously, if you're trying to get in the tournament, I get all that stuff. But I do. I think the nameless faces thing has always been good to us, and I stole the 1-0 from football. I steal everything from football. They're the most organized people I've ever been around in my life. I love Coach Campbell. Coach Heacock's my guy. So I stole that from them. We've always had the next 40-minute thing. So it's like, if you look at our scout report, it says 1-0. Like that is completely stolen from football. And our kids, I think, every team's different. This team kind of gets it. Some teams we've had is like, hey, we got to win 3 of the next 4, or we want to win, this team isn't built that way. I don't think most young people are built that way anymore. I mean, they live in a 15-second Instagram world. They're not going to be focused on what do they have to do over the next 3 weeks. I don't think. At least I can't get them to focus that long.
One more real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine you'd like to say something about the highest ranking the men's team has ever achieved, number 2 in the
Number 2?
nation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing is incredible, and I think I just keep saying it. They have a toughness to them that is unique, and it's unique, but it's really unique in this day and age, and it just shows how they did it on Saturday, and it's one of those things where it's really fun to watch it. And how organically it's built, and there is no, and we all want to be, we all want to have a program that's built in a certain way. There is no shortcuts. It is going to be done a certain way, and I mean they have really, really good basketball players, but they have something else too that, I mean, I don't know how many teams in the country have that thing, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
They've got it, and they got a lot of it, and it's been cool to see how they've managed to just grind it out. And I mean, Tech's a hard place to win, and it'll be fun to see it continue because, and like you said, they've had. I mean, I've been here for a long time. They've had some damn good teams here.
Yeah.
I mean, really good teams. And for you to say you're the highest, best, most compared to others, that's damn impressive. It's not like there's a history here of they've sucked forever and all of a sudden here comes TJ. I mean I've been here through 7 men's basketball coaches, and I've seen a lot of really good basketball. So it's fun. It's fun to watch it. It's fun to see them have success, and I'm excited to see where it goes because I guarantee you there isn't a coach in the country who wants to play our guys. Not one. And that to me, that says the most. When you're like, oh, I gotta play them. Like that's 40 minutes that you're just not looking forward to. I'd rather have a root canal than play Iowa State. So. But I like it, because they're such good guys. I mean TJ. He's married to one of my former players. But they're all. Every time you see them, the way they conduct themselves, the players. It's so cool to be in that building with them and see them earn the success that they've had. Hopefully, it'll continue. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Bill.